Welcome back to Primetime News. Special welcome if you're watching on OneSpotMedia.com.
A reminder as well that you can watch TVJ live by downloading our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1 followed by the word Spot and Media.
The organizers of the dancehall artist ALKALINE-headed New Rules show are clearing the air after an incident at the show on the weekend.
Some patrons were injured when people scampered after hearing what they thought were gunshots, but turned out not to be the case. The concert took place at the National Stadium car park in St. Andrew early Sunday morning.
TVJ's Giovanni Dennis was at the event and has more in this report.
Shortly before 4 o'clock Sunday morning at the New Rules show in St. Andrew, chaos at what up until then had been an incident-free show headlined by dancehall artist ALKALINE. But New Rules featured not just ALKALINE, but plenty of other heavy hitters. Mavado, I-Octane and Shaggy. So how did New Rules seemingly suddenly deteriorate from order to disorder? It was ALKALINE's first performance in Jamaica in well over 2 years, and the venue was packed. As the champion boy DJ entered the stage, several patrons began jumping the fence, separating the VIP section and the general section. The fence was trampled in the process. A section of the crowd in the general area scattered, but it is unclear why. Things got a little calmer for a moment, but then an explosion was heard in the VIP area. This led to persons running off again.
Right beside the middle seat, me start hear glass as shatter. You know, like when you fling one heap of glass on the ground, them a fling the glass them all over the place. One stampede happen, people run, people push me down, push down people, everything.
All this happening while ALKALINE performed, forcing the DJ to urge patrons to be calm before continuing his set. But CEO for Brownstone Entertainment, the organizers of the concert, Delon Reed, says the explosion heard was not a gunshot.
No, shot was fired. I know one was harmed. There's no incident of anybody getting one getting any injury as a result of a bullet wound. And in terms of bruises and abrasions, that might have happened because persons run. I mean, this whole thing lasted like a few seconds. It wasn't anything that lasted for minutes or any extended period of time.
He says a patron was celebrating ALKALINE's performance using a canister, essentially a patron creating a flame effect by using a spray can, much like this. Even so, the incident caught the attention of Kingston Mayor Delroy Williams, who was in attendance at the concert. He commented on the issue at a Jamaica Labour Party Area Council meeting at the weekend.
We want to big up ALKALINE and the person who got the idea to put on such an event. But we are saying going forward, I believe that for these events, major events, not small events, major events that we can consider city events, that we need some sit down with the parish council and the police to discuss the other aspect of the event, or we manage these events so that we don't have any occurrences within the events that would damage the city.
Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
In a bid to get children to consume less sugar, the Education Ministry says effective this September, the state-run Nutrition Products Limited will no longer supply bag juices to public schools. Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid confirmed the impending policy change in an interview with TVJ News this evening. It comes just a week after Prime Minister Andrew Holness dedicated a significant portion of his budget presentation to the threat lifestyle diseases pose to Jamaicans. But what will the policy change mean for parents, schools and the people who sell the product? TVJ's Shamela Mitchell has been talking to those involved and has this Primetime News special report.
Beverly Thompson has been plying her goods outside St. Peter Claver Primary School in St. Andrew for over 5 years.
Yeah, I sell the bag juice, 10 and 20.
And the bag juice is a big seller.
How many bag juice do you sell per day?
4 bags.
How many bag juice come in one bag?
One bag contain 2 dozen, that is the small one, and the big one contain 1 dozen.
How much money would is that? No.
Let me see, 560.
Anne, who sells outside St. Andrew High School, makes about half as much a month. She's less worried than Beverly, well, a little less.
I would lose about 5,000 per day for my bag juices. I'm not going to tell a lie on that. Because bag juice is my main selling event. Sometimes I buy 10, definitely. Sometimes I buy 20 bags and it sell.
But even so, both Beverly and Anne are worried about a new plan by the government.
The government is not going to supply bag juices to schools. come September through our company, which is the Nutritional Products Limited.
Note that Rural Read said Nutrition Products Limited, so this ban only captures what's happening on school premises, not outside. But Beverly and Ann wonder whether school officials will start pressuring them to give up bag juice sales, or worse, warn children not to buy.
Bag juice cannot be banned.
When I'm sale, me use the money to pay my rent and my bills and send my child to school.
And if that is taken away from you, then what's going to happen?
Miss, me no know me I go survive, miss, now my daughter.
The vendors may not be far off about what the ministry move would mean for them. One primary school principal, Margaret Bolt, says with the ministry policy shift must come a conversation with vendors. After all, the tempting treats would be just outside school gates.
We'll call a meeting of all vendors and say to them that this is what is happening. We can't have bag juice being sold at the school anymore. So we'll ask them to abide by the rules, and in terms of them following, we'll just have to ensure that they follow by monitoring the sale, and that is easy to be done.
How is that?
They're right there. They're right at the gate. So it's just a matter of patrolling and seeing that they are selling what is appropriate for the children.
The Education Ministry move is part of a general push to get children to eat better, especially less sugar. Excess sugar is linked to all kinds of potentially deadly diseases.
I think we have a high incidence of diabetes and other lifestyle diseases that we need to get a handle on.
But the vendors argue that there is a question of affordability.
Yeah, and I'm saying for those who really can't afford the other formulation fruit juices, then water is a very good and affordable substitute.
It's not just vendors who will take convincing, but parents.
You're drinking water, you not even know if it's 100% pure water you're drinking. It say on the bottle it's pure. It might not be pure. You understand? Them some people can just bag any little water, give a bottle any little water and tell us it's spring water.
It's not healthy and it's not appropriate. So it's the both of them. You can give the child a bag juice at home but not at school.
So rather than just make it stay as it is, kids them need it to survive. No matter what they want to say, the water is there. No, they need the good sweets in it too.
In fact, as one manufacturer points out, schools are not her biggest market. Janet Cunningham runs Uncle D's juice outlet in downtown Kingston.
Bag juice must sell at home. People must buy bag juice for home purpose. When you have the small shops them at home, those are the people buy bag juice most. School don't buy bag juice. I don't have one school customers.
She argues that there's a flaw in the ministry's approach.
They're not only coming back, bag juice also bag in bottle. You understand? So you start the bag juice in bag. It's already in the bottles too. Bag drink in bottles. They need to have other juices. We're not good for kids. And we can see it. All the juices are not good for kids. We can't afford the one them who are good for the kids. We can't afford it.
But it appears the ministry may be taking this into account into a nutritional policy being developed.
The nutritional policy will speak to the level of sugar, and we will communicate to our stakeholders what the policy is. So we expect compliance with the policy directives.
Shamela Mitchell, TVJ News.
With Dr. Peter Phillips taking charge of the opposition People's National Party at age 67, there is again debate about the age of political party leaders and potential prime ministers. Political commentators have been weighing in on the debate. TVJ's Herman Green has this primetime news follow-up.
At Sunday's special delegates meeting, where Dr. Peter Phillips officially took control of the People's National Party, party member Damian Crawford dismissed the age difference between both party leaders as a non-issue.
Them trying to make a politics of age. Them say that they're not afraid because they can't see a 67-year-old beating a 44-year-old in a sprint. Well, I tell them it's not a 100 meter, it's a max race, and the 44-year-old don't have the formula.
But is age just a number where politics is concerned? Political commentator Shalman Scott argues that, considering the demographics of the electorate,
I
don't think so. There has been no evidence to suggest that age as a factor plays any significant role in the assumption of prime ministership in the country.
He believes Jamaican voters have never focused on age in the past. He points out that Portia Simpson-Miller and Andrew Holness faced off in 2 elections and each won 1.
Michael Manley and Edward Siaga. Michael Manley is the older of the 2. Yet in 1980, Siaga, the younger, defeated him, but yet we saw Michael Manley coming back to defeat Siaga in the 1989 elections.
Political commentator Nadine Spencer agrees, but believes that the political background of both party leaders will have an impact. She says after decades of politics, Dr. Peter Phillips has become somewhat predictable.
But at the same time, I think that given the reality that he's faced with, and by that I mean young people who are turned off from the political process, different ways of engaging in this new modern age, such as having to engage on social media.
They both think the impact of other factors will so greatly outweigh the age difference that it's not worth considering.
That is purely a matter of leadership choice and choosing a relevant approach to solving the problems that Jamaica is faced with. And so I think it's a lot to do with mindset and what are the perspectives they bring to their leadership position as opposed to their age.
Herman Green, TVJ News.
And with calls for new blood to join the PNP, questions again being raised about PNP Chairman Robert Pickersgill. He has still not indicated when he will step down from that post.
Whenever that comes around, you'll definitely hear it. It will not be a secret.
And no thoughts on the timeline yet?
If I have a timeline, I'll discuss that first with the party. I couldn't discuss it with the press before the party.
Our top story this evening, government moves to ban bag juice from the school feeding program as it deals with the amount of sugar students are consuming. Still ahead, more people rescued from trafficking, but the arrest of perpetrators leaves much to be desired. And in business news, gasoline retailers complain that a recent tax hike is hurting sales. We'll be right back.
Start saving for your child's education with as little as $500 with Sigma.